Alright guys, as you can see, I got that little internal part removed. This is how it went. See, and this here is pressure fitted down in. Okay. And what I did is I just basically put it back in the body there, and I heated this, put some heat on this, and managed to get it out. Alright. Now, in the bottom of this here, you can possibly, let me get my light here. That way I can show you. Maybe, let me get a little closer here. And hold on here. Well, let me stop this camera from shaking. You can see that little hole in the bottom there, okay? Well, there's a stopper in the bottom of this here system that I've got to replace. And you have to replace that, guys. You have to replace that. These things, like I said, get hardened brick and they don't seal. I need to buy some cord that size, but I don't have the cord to do that with. So what I've been doing is just measuring the inside of these here. Now that says 1.58. I've cut various cords in different times, so I'm just going to have to see if I got one in one of these containers here that's possibly already cut, and it'll work without me having to get my tools and my rubber sheet out and cut another one. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. That could possibly work. But I'm going to have to cut it a little bit. Now, I'll get close up on this so I can see something. All right. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to cut that too much. Might be the exact fit we needed. Okay, let's see here. Let me smack. Okay. I think you can see that. Let the camera focus, yeah. See that right there? That's a new stopper. Made out of a Boona sheet of rubber. Boona 70 grade, alright? Now, before I go putting this back together, I gotta check out this. Yeah, I'm going to put a new O-ring on this up here. That's just freaking, that's harder than brick. Alright. All I gotta do is unscrew this. Wow, isn't that something? I'm burning that up too much. See if that thing's turning or what. The whole thing's turning. That's not good. Vince, there's no parts for this, and I can't afford to burger anything up here. Can't afford to burger it up, not me. Probably unscrew that better with one of these. Okay, got some coming off. Okay. Whew. Boy, there's that little screw head on top of that. Now, gotta put another seal on there. Be careful when you take that off. There's always a little bit of washer between these seals here. About 4 millimeter. Those are flat, so I think I can get some out of this little kit here. Got that on eBay. I have to use several of them together, but yeah, that'll work. That must be one I cut. Let's see what we got here. That's gonna work perfectly. What do you know? At least I hope it is. Well, I don't know if it'll work perfectly or not. Let me see. No, it's just a little bit too much. Go back to these other rubber ones I got here. Well, gotta have a good set of tweezers, and I don't have it. I ruined them. That isn't it either. All right. That'll do it right there. I used 2 of these washers. Give me about the same thickness as the one I took out. Okay. Be careful on these little screws and stuff. You guys, this is what adjusts the mechanism for your valve. Make sure the gas goes on and off. You don't want to screw these up. I'm trying to find which way. Let's see which way that went on. I think that's it right there. Okay, we'll go with that right there. Might be able to see what we got going there. Now this is goes up and down. Okay. And then it just goes right in there like that. Okay, now. Okay. Where's my... And what I'll do is screw this. Oops, I took my O-ring off of there earlier. Because when I heated that up, I didn't want to mess up that O-ring. Maybe I can get it on like this. There we go. I'm just going to put a little bit of just a little silicone grease around that bottom O-ring there. Before I screw it into here. See if my washer's still in there. Yeah. Alright. Now, what I do is I can push that down in on top. Just like that. Just push it where it's flush. I just usually, like I said, use these tweezers and I just pushed it down flush. Okay. Now comes the test. Let's get usually you gotta drain the first time you put some in. You're gonna have air in that, guys. That's just all there is to it. You're gonna have air in it. You're gonna have to bleed it out. And because what you want to do is when you poke this in, you want to see butane come out. Yeah, we got it in there now. All right, there's that. A little high, but we got it off. Pretty good there. Take this little thing here, stick on there. It'll help me turn that a little bit. I probably might shut it off. Period there. Let's see. Yeah, got a little flame there. What I like to do is kind of leave that about right there. All right. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, just leave it right there. Now, next step is you got to test it for leaks. You got to make sure it's not leaking. I'm going to put everything back together here, so I want to get some of these tools out of the way. It's amazing how many tools you get right here. Taking something apart. Okay. Test it for leaks. Oh boy, my worst fear. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. See them air bubbles coming up out of that fill valve? Filler valve's got a leak. Yeah. Alright. Well, now after fixing that, I know now I gotta repair the fill valve. Fill valve's got a leak in it, so I'm gonna have to drain it all out. Little plastic piece right here. Yeah, a little plastic washer fits over there. Let's see if I can get a hold of it with this. No. If I can get a hold of this or not. There we go. That holds these two items on right here. Now, I'm going to remove this because I'm going to try to save this fill valve. Listen, these fill valves take a special tool down in there, and I don't really, well, let me see. I made one, but it wasn't quite perfect. But what I'm going to have to do is heat this up. These things are like glued in, like super glued in or something. Problem is, this unscrews from this base. You can probably see where it's rounder right here. This area, this collar, that collar is actually soldered into this bottom of this tank. And this here unscrews, this here filler valve unscrews at the top right here. So I've got to put some heat on this fill valve to see if I can get it unloosened enough, you know, to break it free. Because usually if I ruin them, I end up I've got a modification that I do on these. I really don't want to use my valves. I've only got 2 or 3 left, but if I have to, I will. I'll just have to order another dozen or so of them when I do, you know, more repairs. Let's get my little torch out here. Let's see here. It's going to get a little warm, so I gotta. Trouble is you get too much heat on this and yeah, see that bead of solder coming out of there, guys? There's a bead of solder coming out of there now. Alright. Doggone it. Yeah. It's not wanting to come out. Maybe. Maybe it did. Let me see. Yeah. I think we got her loose. Trouble is, see that bead of solder come out there? Right there? Yeah. Well, that's the problem when you heat that. You know what that means. I'm going to have to resolder the end of that. Kind of like one job turns into another. There it is. There's your spring. Okay. Boy. I know what this means. You want to have the side of that base, guys. Just hoping I wouldn't have to go through all this. But I got to. Now let me get my tools. I think I got the right one here. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put a little flux around here, clean this up. Put a little more butane in my torch. A little solder here. Get out of there. Doggone it. Ouch. Trying not to burn my desk up here. My fingers in process. Alright, there's a lot more solder on there needed. Gotta get a better clamping system. The only way you're going to be able to tell if it worked or not is to put everything back together. That's the only freaking way you can tell. Usually my soldering jobs are a lot better than that, but at this point, just want to get her going. Look at it with my magnifiers and see what we got. Looks like we're good. That looks good. Now let's come over to this. You can see the it's almost like a triangle, rounded corners. These washers are, but look at there, see that? Trying to peel that off, just broke it. That thing was never ever going to seal. Me putting that much heat on just vulcanized it too, imagine. Yeah. Yeah, that thing had a leak, bad leak. It wasn't gonna last for nothing. Okay. Actually didn't damage that much, that bad at all. Mouse did pretty good, considering. Clean the end of this up. Okay. Now I'm going to measure what we got here. Looks like it's 3.96 millimeters. Let's say 3.5. Going to work good. Let's see here. There's 3, that's 2.5. See what we got here. That's 3.5 right there. Now, gotta get I'm going to use, I got one that's a little bit too thick. One that's a little too thin. Where's part of that at? No, that'll work. This will work right here. All right. This is what I do to cut out the piece I need. While you're cutting these, might as well make several of them. That's a sheet of rubber. I got serial number. I can't remember where I got that from, but it's a sheet of 70 Dural graded rubber there. Alright, now I got the outside dimensions. Now I need to punch a hole in the middle. Yeah, I'm going to have to use I'm guessing a 1mm. Let's see what we got here. That's a 1.5. It's too big. This is a 1. On these here, you want to make sure that there's a little narrow piece down here at the base. You want to make sure that when you cut that new gasket that it seats firmly around there and seals it at that point as well. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Possibly a good cut there. Alright. Looks good. Okay. I cut that at 3.5, guys. It wouldn't hurt to cut it at 3mm. So just so you'll know, wouldn't hurt at all. Here's what we got. All right. Now, spring back in. Now, I usually put some seal on that. I'm not gonna do that right yet, because I want to check. I want to check the leaks around the edge. So I gotta see what I did with my my brass filler valve for it. It's alright, I'll use this plastic one here. Pressure on it now. And it's coming out the bottom here. Let me put this back in for now. Stop it. Okay, no leaks around the base. Now it will leak where that screws in, guys. It will leak there. I'll guarantee you it's going to leak there. So what you got to do is, believe it or not, you got to put some blue Loctite on there. Believe you me, that's the only reason I even bought this bottle of blue Loctite, just to do jobs like this on these type of valves here. You got a lot of alcohol in there. Well, one fell. Okay. I'm going to take this back out again. I don't know how many times. I'm gonna, there it is. Trying to just kind of what I'm kind of doing here, guys, is just trying to evaporate some of that alcohol I had in that tank. Ain't gonna worry about it. I'll let it dry out eventually. Alright. Now, I'm just gonna put it back together now. Now you put this blue Loctite on, guys. Make sure you don't get any on the rubber seal down there, okay? There's plenty there. Okay. All right. Yeah. We're good. Of course, that Loctite's going to have to sit. Can't remember how long I let it sit the last time. Oh. Anyway, now it's time to put this puppy back together. I'm going to throw some butane in that anyway. Trying to clean out some of that alcohol out of the system is what I'm doing. That's pretty good there. Okay. All right. Let's see if we just can't get it. Now, let's put it back together. Probably going to have a little problem with this fitting over here. Yeah. You got a little bit, see this here needs to sit down flush over that, okay? I got a little bit of a solder, extra solder right there, so I'm gonna have to get out my little file here and file it down a little bit. And just take it off. I think we're good there. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Trying to remember what I used last time. Push that down with. sometimes I come up with little special tools. I don't think I did on this. You want to push that down over there, but yet you don't want to break that washer. Since it's plastic. Good enough. Okay. Now, it's kind of a shot in the dark without having this thing with some butane in it. I'm going to empty that one more time. Yeah. We're good there. Now. We're good. Yeah, probably got that freaking sponge. I got that sponge wet with alcohol because I didn't take it out of there. Yeah. And we got alcohol in that system. Better let that drain out. Yeah, we're getting some butane out of there. See that sponge? All right. Okay. See what I'm doing here. I'm just add some alcohol in that sponge and everything, and I'm just letting it butane go through there and dispel any. You can tell it's butane because it's evaporating. Letting it go through there because there's actually a cotton swab in there. Actually, there's a little bit of alcohol in with that. It'll eventually dry up and get better. Alright, let's put that back. too high there. Woo. Still too high. Let's try this now. Now still a little too high. Yeah. Still a little high. Not bad, but I'm going to adjust it on low. And it's a little. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we're off. I like to leave it on a low flame. That was just starting, but okay. Yeah, that's a low flame. All right. Now, let's put this back in here. All right. There's that. Now we're on a low flame and we want to go to tighten it. That's so we want to be, think about that. We want to go this way, counterclockwise, to open it up. We want to be about right there. Yep. That'll work pretty good right there. See what I got right there, guys? Let's see how that little pipe, they kind of fit right up in there. Everything's right. Okay. Now, they got this seal that I got. I don't know the numbers, but that's what I use on this part here. Oh, yeah, see, I forgot already. Got ahead of myself. Right, this part right here. I forgot I got to put that rubber stopper around there. Ain't a big deal, but it goes in there. Alright, put that back on. Okay. Alright. Well, I just happen to have these rubbers in here at the time, but This is where sometimes you wish you had 3 hands. You gotta get that back in that crevice back here in the back. See that? It's gotta be right in there. Let me get my glass there. Hold on a minute here, might have it. Now, I need to put this here back up on this a little bit. Give me a little more room. Oops. Give me a little room there. There we go. There we go. See that? In the back right there. Alright. I'm not going to know if I got that screwed down enough until I get this in. Ah! It fell out. Get back up in there. Okay. It fell out again. It's alright, I'll get you up in there and you're going to stay. And my small one. I'll get down in there, guys. Well, take that out again. I just want to go with the plan today. Well, that ain't helping that that thing swung around there. There we go. You're taking this apart, doing your own, you're just going to have to make a note of how that needs to go. All right. Yeah, it's going to have to be tightened down. I think you can see what I'm talking about here. See, it's all the way up, but it's not hitting that valve. You got to tighten that down. So what that means is just disassembling that. And tightening that down. Back up in there. There we go. Yeah, let's try that. See what we got. Okay. I still need to come down a little bit more. Yeah. Still need to come down a little bit more. About one more thread. See, when you put a new stopper and stuff in there, guys, it's going to change the heights on everything, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, it's going to change the height on everything. One more turn. Let's try that. Let's try that. All right. Still got to come down. Still got to come down. I'm thinking that might be good right there. Once you get her though, you got it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now let's get that rubber piece up here a little bit closer. Push back. That rubber piece keeps pressure on that, guys, to pull this lever down. All right. Put this back in there. Flint. See what I got in the tank here. Let me fill it up again. Let's see here. I got my lighter up here. There we go. Maybe I got that adjustment set wrong. We'll see. Oh, there it is. There's a small flame. There we go. Well, let's get a little flame height here. See what we got. Look at there. All right. Turn it down a little bit. Maybe a little more. All right. Flaminaire F12. Lighter repair. Looks like we're good to go. Guys, this is a pretty detailed video. I mean, it should give you an idea what you need to do. As far as those rubber pieces go, yeah, let me show you here. Those ones I use to put tension on that bar, I got them in here somewhere, I think. I just want to get them out here. Yeah, right here. Right here's the part number. Alright. Right there's what they are. I just happen to have these around, these bigger than I need, but that's the part number. I think I might have got these off of O-Rings and More. Okay. Alright. Any other questions? Feel free to shoot me a comment down below, or you can shoot me an email at lighters2018 at gmail.com.